This podcast is brought to you by the Arte Media Pantheon. Please head to artemedia.org to see all kinds of podcasts from our great friends. And if you would like to start your own podcast, they can provide you with the tools and resources to do so there. So please head to artemedia.org. That's ARETE media.org. Jordan, I'm glad we went back. The second one was better. The first one there was a stumble, and the second one was better. They didn't hear the first one. Welcome. We're still off. It's a bonus episode. It's bonus episode 5. It's just the news. Maybe a little bit calm response. That's what we do. That's what we do when we're on break. Today we're live. If you're on YouTube, we're live because I was like, it's Sunday and I don't want to edit this because I'm lazy. Dang it, I forgot to start the timer. I don't want to edit this because I'm lazy. Yeah, we're going to go live and then it's just going to stay up the way it is. But we're just doing the news. Just the news. We didn't watch stuff. We were in Mexico on a beach. Not drinking Mai Tais, because neither of us drink Mai Tais. We were drinking soda on a beach.
Yep.
Let's start with some comment response time, Jordan. Let's start with that. Bop bop.
Baba booey, baba booey.
Baba booey, baba booey. Howard Star's penis, baba booey, baba booey. So, got a couple of comments on some, being that it's Easter Sunday, Jordan. That's the time to talk about Jesus. It's Jesus' day. It's the day he came back. So I figured we should respond to some comments on our Jesus videos, various Jesus videos to start off with. Apparently, according to this one comment, Jesus was naked when he was whipped and crucified. So apparently, Jordan, being naked is part of it. I don't know why most things show him as having clothes, but apparently being naked is part of it.
I mean, most things show him as clothes because Christians are squeamish.
That is fair. And apparently, they're not squeamish about him getting turned into meat, but they are squeamish.
Violence is okay as long as there's no nudity
or language.
Or naughty language.
This is a personal favorite comment of mine. Jordan, you may not want to have liquid in your mouth when you hear this. It's not that we as Christians quote wank it. It's upsetting even more for us as we see our Lord and Savior tortured for our sins. It's a gruesome reminder of the greatness of his pain for us. And to be clear, I did not say that all Christians wank it to the Passion of the Christ. I said that Catholics, because apparently, Jordan,
specifically,
they're different. Apparently, according to Christians, Catholics are not real Christians, even though they believe the same stuff. I don't understand it. I'm not going to question it. That's not what this podcast is about. Moving on. We got a comment on our Seth Rogen and Barbra Streisand short, which was that the Razzie nomination was BS. And he didn't mean Barbra Streisand. That's funny. She's actually quite good in it. And the film, while by no means high art, is sweetly sentimental and sort of charming, which I believe is what Jordan said.
I think that's pretty much what I said, which was that, you know, all things considered, it's kind of exactly what you think it's gonna be, but like it's sweet. And you know, again, maybe that's because I have a mother who can also sometimes be a tad overbearing. So maybe I just relate to it more, and that's why I enjoy it. But you know,
what's another? I think that's it. Oh, just apparently in regards to Stephen Colbert writing Lord of the Rings movie. It says Tolkien was a linguist and a novelist inspired by his time in the trenches of World War I. Colbert was inspired by fantasy books written by the guy with experience. It'll be a product. Debating the merits of this is akin to having a conversation about the artistic value of a Snickers bar. And I would say that pretty well, no matter what, it was going to be a product. It's like the 7th Lord of the Rings movie. It's going to be a product. There will be
I mean,
it's long past.
Not even just talking about movies. I mean, you got games, you got movies, you got televisions, you
I
got.
hate to tell you,
it's on shirts.
It's a product.
They've made collectible rings that you can make of all the different rings. Like it's a product already.
It's a product. It's a product, my friend. It's a product.
Pretty much everything in Hollywood is a product.
Right.
So.
That's it. Those are all the comments. Jordan, the news. Give me the news theme. Hit me with the news theme. Starting with, this came out while we were gone, and that is apparently there's an Animorphs TV series in development at Disney Plus, and Ryan Coogler is set to produce it.
No, did we get confirmation that that might actually be a thing?
It's on Variety, and it's exclusive, and they're one of the main trades. So I'm gonna go with this is probably at least reasonably legit. And Jordan, when they're making this show, in my opinion, it's very important, Jordan. We gotta remember kids. Gotta remember kids. And that's
So wait,
keep it dark, stupid.
keep it dark, stupid. I
Don't
like it.
don't 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 add
No,
any
don't
unnecessary
don't
lightness.
water it down.
Don't
That's the
water it
thing.
down. It is a
It's
story about
about
children developing
child
It's
soldiers.
about child soldiers and them ultimately developing PTSD due to the horrors of war. Also, I saw someone say you got to keep the transformations, the anamorphing, as it were, as horrible and awful because they are described as being horrible and awful.
Well,
I
they're
need them
they're
to be
just
Cronenberg,
yeah,
borderline Cronenbergian.
they're described as being like they're essentially boneless, like you don't feel anything, but like the visual descriptions of some of the transformations of things that happened before
Right?
other things, it's
I
yeah,
want I want
you
it to
that's
look
a
like the
part
covers
of
of the
it.
books. It needs to be horrifying. Like it needs to
So
be borderline Cronenbergian. I'm just saying.
okay, but let's just dive into this real quick. So this is being made by Disney,
It's gonna be for Disney Plus, yeah.
but do we think it's being made by Disney or is it being made by another studio for Disney?
I'm at. This doesn't say. I'm gonna say probably for Disney, not by
Because
Disney.
because
I imagine it'll be
for
similar to
me,
In actuality, I surmise it'll be in similar tone and style, probably to that Goosebumps show, based on the fact that this is another Scholastic book series that they've taken to Disney Plus because the first one was Goosebumps. This is also
it's
Scholastic.
it's it's fascinating to me that they're kind of trying to do that. I didn't I don't know how to word this. Animorphs never really left the 90s.
Not
It hasn't
exceptionally,
it's
but
like it hasn't really had like a resurgence. I don't think there's been a lot of
I
reprints of the books or anything.
no, it's not true. It's still fairly. I think they did some comic books. Like I know they've done stuff with the franchise since we
Have
saw.
they?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they did some graphic novels, or at least they were gonna do
Interesting.
some graphic novels. I cannot say if there are graphic novels, images will appear. But yeah, it going to Disney Plus could be a concern to me. Based on how fucked up that Goosebumps show was,
Yeah.
for a show that was supposed to be based on a children's book, I think that they could kids, keep it
They
dark, stupid.
they could.
Oh, but
The
also Jordan, but also
the
they
interesting
could
thing to me is
Diffie,
like
which is don't fuck it up. Diffu,
yeah, don't don't Difu.
no, for me it's
Difu?
Diffu. You
The
don't pronounce
foo?
it. You don't.
No,
You just say it
it can't
fast.
be.
You
It
don't
can't
pronounce it.
be. It can't be. It can't be. Ooh, that would require like two or three U's.
No, foo, fu, dfu.
Okay, okay.
But then
I
I'm like, but then
guess.
you're skipping over
Anyways,
the anyway.
we're getting away from the
We're
point.
getting hung up on
Um,
the on the acronym.
um,
Are we excited for this?
that I don't know.
I
I need to
know, right?
see. I I need to see a trailer. Like
Yeah,
I am in the like if I give it the benefit of the doubt and I think that it's going to be accurate,
I think it will.
like fairly
I think it
accurate,
being a show
then
gives it its best shot for sure.
yeah.
For
Well,
sure.
the thing is like it really depends on how in depth are we getting here? Are we doing like an 8 episode thing where
We're
you're
doing an eight
combining
episode. We're doing an
because
at
then
best an eight episode
it's
thing.
gonna be bad.
Well,
It's
no,
gonna
because
be
those books
it's
are so short. You could do like maybe 5, 6 of them in 8 episodes. Like I
sure,
think you could.
but there's like 200 of them.
Yeah, yeah. I think you
There's
could condense it if you did a
there's
couple
a
seasons of
lot of
this.
them, and that's not even talking about
It's a
like
very deep
you
world,
have like
for
the
sure.
Megamorph books where like there's like
I
a
mean,
side
you got your
stories and like
Andalite Chronicles. No, yeah, they're gonna
yeah.
do the meat of the main story, and they'll cut. I imagine they'll probably do David because he's an easy antagonist to
Well,
do.
see, well, that's where I'm like, what I would do
Because
because
just
there's definitely like what I would call in the books. There's definitely like what I would call
yeah,
arcs.
for sure.
And so like I would do like the first season is like and I'm going off my memory of the books here, so forgive me. But like I would do like kind of like the show, kind of like what they did with the show, where the you basically split the seasons up into the arc. So like the
Yeah, yeah.
first arc is like first they
A
build
lot
up
of
to
those
getting
books are just like
Axe and
adventure of the week. You can
you
splice them
could that
together and
yeah they would work well as a
yeah.
show, and they're not in terms of modern technology. Like they're not necessarily because they spend a lot of time as humans.
Get real animals, but don't do CGI animals. Get real animals.
No, the only
They, you
thing you
know,
need to do, the only thing that you need to spend money on CGI for is, well, I mean, I will say it would be simpler for them, for some of the bigger animals to
No,
lean on that.
no,
Because,
absolutely
like,
not. Don't
you know
do
how
it.
difficult it is to work with a tiger?
Yeah, don't do it. Don't get CGI animals. It'll
Um,
ruin it. Get
but
live
no,
action
I
animals.
was I was gonna say the only thing that you need to do CGI is the Andalites have to be CGI.
Yeah, obviously,
You
yeah.
you you can't. I mean, it's just they tried to do it with the live action with the other show and it looks terrible. With the prosthetics and stuff, it looks awful. Um, and the Hork-Bajir, the toxins,
Yeah. Get all the
all
weird
the
shit. Do all the weird shit.
like
But
all
most
the
importantly,
aliens.
the other fun thing about this is you don't have to worry about people calling it woke or whatever because it's already a multi-diverse cast of characters.
Yep, that's true.
You got a Hispanic guy there, you got a black girl there, you got a Native American guy
You
there,
don't you don't need to change any of
you
it.
got a
Like it
blonde white
works
woman.
fine.
You don't need to. But even if you did, you could race swap these characters around, and it wouldn't like you could make Jake like you could make Jake the Indian one, and
Yeah,
you could make Marco the white
Well,
one, and
kind of. With Marco, from what I remember, there are some episodes, books where they kind of lean on his on
Hispanic.
like what it yeah
But yeah, don't. I
his.
wouldn't. I would just leave them all the way they were.
I would just
It's
there's
already
no
a
need to change them.
multi
Yeah,
diverse cast of
you
characters,
you already have one of every crayon in the box. Like you don't
right?
really need to
Right.
swap
It's
it.
weird that when they went through that we really need to have multi diverse stuff. They didn't go to Animorphs because Animorphs is really diverse. Part of why
And
I like that movie.
it was very popular back in the day. Um,
Right.
there's a reason why it had games and there it got a show.
Why it got a show in the first place.
Which fun fact for those who don't know, the original Animorphs show has Iceman in it.
Yes, yes, it does. Yes, it does because
I,
it was Canadian produced, y'all.
yeah.
Canadian produced, y'all.
So to answer your
Um,
question, am I excited? Yes, in theory. In practicality, it's probably going to be bad.
yeah, I don't know. So I've got a rapid round of trailers, of which I have very little thoughts up until the last one. So I think we'll save the one that we had the most to say for the end. And over your dead body. That looks fun. That looks fun. That looks cute.
Yeah,
I
I like
don't.
a good Jason Segel movie.
Just on observation, I like the premise of its two spouses. The premise of this is that it's two spouses who have taken each other up to a cabin in the woods and they're trying to kill each other. They've both planned to murder each other. That's funny. The home invasion element of it, where Josh Duhamel is coming in, or not Josh Duhamel, Timothy Oliphant is coming in there and like trying to house invade them. That feels unnecessary. That feels like that will be
Oh,
unnecessary.
I might have gotten confused because I thought that when the other guy comes in, I thought he was her husband.
No. The premise of this is that Jason Segel and her are husband and wife, and they hate each other, and they've planned to
Ah,
murder each other. And I don't know
okay.
where the other character house invade. That's where I saw another trailer for this, and I felt the same way. This feels kind of confused, but hey, according to all the pull quotes, it's apparently good. I would like to see it. It's one of those I'll probably find a way to fold it in to the
It
show
looks like
somehow.
it looks like one that I'll watch on streaming eventually.
Right, yeah. I'll watch it for this. Speaking of stuff I'll watch on streaming eventually, Swapped. I'm of two minds with this, Jordan. Number one, I've seen this before. I've seen this before. I've seen this before. There's nothing in this I haven't seen before, and it's just
Yeah, this is not rewriting the book in
no.
any way.
This is not. This in terms of Netflix animation. It's not Netflix's best work. It's like, you know what this is. You know that they're going to become friends. This trailer showed you the whole movie. It just really doesn't look like there's any
Yeah,
surprises in there. The animation doesn't look pretty enough to be
the
interesting.
voices aren't pulling me in enough to
Well, it's
care
interesting
either.
that it does that thing that a lot of these movies do where they show you all the famous people and it's got three of them. One of them
That's
is
it.
Tracy Morgan. Yeah, it does the thing where it's like Michael B. Jordan,
Yeah,
Tracy Morgan,
that was the
one
only
more
name
person.
that was the only name I recognized
I
was
was
Michael B.
like,
Jordan,
that's okay. I guess there's no other famous people in this. All right then. Yeah,
or
yeah.
none worthy of being mentioned.
Right. It was giving me straight to DVD vibes. That's what it was giving me.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
trailer for this wasn't really a trailer for anything, but it was American Gladiators. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Jordan. I love American Gladiators. I love that style of that. That is peak. I mean, I know American Gladiators originates in the 1980s, but to me, that kind of reality-based
Peak
television,
2000.
peak 2000s. Like
It
it's
it made me think of because I've never watched American Gladiators, so
Are you
from that angle,
sure?
I have no memory if I did.
Because I'm pretty sure we
I
watched
remember I remember watching Beastmaster with you, which is basically just that, but
basically just that. It's the same kind of show. I could have
same kind
sworn
of
we
show.
watched American, but then I think I might be confusing it with Dog Eat Dog. You remember Dog Eat Dog?
Uh,
That was
I
Brooke
don't
Shields.
specifically remember that
I
one.
remember watching
The
it.
biggest one that I remember watching a lot with you is American Ninja Warrior. I remember watching
Yeah,
that all
love
the time
American
with
Ninja
you.
Warrior.
And we watched like all of Beastmaster together.
Yes, yeah, we watched multiple, and also, I mean, if we're talking like 2000s Fear Factor, obviously.
Okay, Fear Factor, yeah, but
Dog Eat Dog
that's
was the same production company that their Fear Factor
I don't
refers.
even I don't even recognize that name.
If I showed it to remind me, I'll show it to you later. You would probably remember. That's a good. I'll put it to you this way. I used to watch it with my mother's mother.
Huh,
Yeah, we used to. I very remember. She used to live in an apartment in Langley, and when I'd stay with her, I would watch it with her. And it's a
interesting.
fun show. I can't remember. I couldn't tell you the exact premise of it now. I think it's a reality based competition show, and I think the idea is you do the challenges, and then if you lose, you get put in the dog pound. I think is the idea, but it's the same shit as this.
Hmm.
The point was got wildly away from the point. The point was that I think we need more of these kind of reality shows again. Like I think we were at our.
Yeah,
I
I
think the
mean,
world was at its best when Joe Rogan wasn't doing shit podcasts and was hosting Fear Factor.
I think they weirdly it was funny that when it was like it's on Amazon Prime, I'm like these kind of shows feel perfect for Prime.
Right? I mean, I know that
I
they
don't.
have like Beast games and all that, but I don't like Mr. Beast. But
Yeah, that's fair.
like when they were to be fair, I guess they kind of tried because you mentioned Beastmaster. That was Netflix's attempt at doing this. And like yeah,
Yeah.
I just think those shows are just fun to just sit down and they're just throwaway shows that are harmless and
They're good slop.
right? Like just good fun, harmless
But it's
harmless
funny
slop.
because and I guess maybe this is the reason Mr. Beast is kind of the reason why these shows don't work.
I know.
Is because not just Mr. Beast, but like there's a lot of like it feels like watching the trailer for this just felt like a bigger production bigger budget YouTube show.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, my thing is like in this world, like I saw a trailer for they brought back Fear Factor, and it's now hosted by Johnny Knoxville. Let that sink in while
That's
he drinks.
that's funny.
It's one of those ones where I saw it and I went, you
Kind
know
of
what?
it kind of makes
Oddly,
sense.
right? But the difference between this version of it is they go to an island and it's like they vote each other out or they get voted out or it's like Fear Factor meets Survivor by the
So
looks of it.
I was just gonna say so Justin, I don't know if you've heard of a little
No,
show
I know.
called Survivor, but
I think it's more like mashed together with Big Brother, but yeah. So, but the prize was some of these things were like the same as the original show. They're dangerous and they're disgusting. I saw one where it was like they had to swim with like alligator gar, and it's like the prize is
alligator gar?
they're long fish about that long and they have teeth about that thick. They look their faces look like alligator. That's why they're called alligator gar. But it looked dangerous and gross. Or they're it's Fear Factor. They're eating gross shit. But
They're eating bugs.
the prize is 250 grand and like no.
That doesn't
I
sound
mean
a lot.
250 grand is a lot, but it just doesn't feel like enough to
It's not like in this day and age, it's not like a million.
right. It just doesn't seem like
Like
enough to want to do
it
something
doesn't
dangerous.
it feels like you haven't gone up with inflation fear factor. Like you're giving
Right?
me like 90s money.
I
$250,000 in the 90s, that's a lot of
like
money.
when I was watching the when
Nowadays,
I was watching the original Fear Factor, I went back and I rewatched it, and I was like, yeah, a lot of this show is like, this isn't worth it. Like this isn't worth the amount of money you're offering me to do this. I guess maybe part of the appeal is you get to be on television, but even then, I'm sorry, I don't want to eat. I don't want to eat gross shit. I don't want to eat poo for 250 grand.
yeah, you want to know why
That's at least
in the
$1 million
90s
thing for me.
you want to know why in the 90s being on TV was a bigger reward. The internet wasn't a thing.
Exactly.
Social media wasn't a
Well, I
thing.
mean,
Now,
even in the early
you know, I could
2000s
I
when
could
shit like Fear Factor was popular.
what?
I say even in the early 2000s when shit like Fear Factor was popular, there was no internet.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that was the appeal.
Yeah.
Was you got to be on
Yeah,
TV
that's why people
because
did
they're
shit like Big
right.
Brother
But
and that. Yeah.
now there's TikTok. I
Yeah.
can go make a TikTok, and a lot of people are gonna see it anyways.
I'm
So
baffled by the fact that Big Brother is still on television. I'm like, I don't understand.
is
I
that just Fear Factor?
Big Brother?
Yeah.
Big. You don't know what Big Brother is?
No.
Big Brother, it basically strips down on the it's Survivor. It strips down Survivor, but instead of going to an island, you live in a house. But it's the same shit.
Okay.
You have
You have
confessionals.
to you have to remember, Justin. I wasn't like you. I didn't like Survivor. I
Okay.
wasn't. I didn't get into
Um,
that kind of show at
it's
any
a,
point.
it's one of the more famous one of them. Um,
It's no, the most famous one of them is Survivor.
Big Brother came first. I think. Pretty sure Big
Okay.
Brother came first. But it's the same. It's the same
Yeah,
concept. You go to a house.
and yet it's overshadowed by its younger brother.
Yeah, no, people. I would say more people watch Big Brother than But again, Survivor, I at least kind of get. There's at least an element of watching people get slowly tortured. Big Brother is you just go. I guess you're watching it for the interpersonal drama. I guess maybe I don't know. But yeah, I'm shocked when YouTube exists. Shit like that is still popular, but it is for some reason. Anyway, final trailer. Supergirl. This is the new Supergirl trailer,
Yeah.
and man, it sure gives a different vibe than the last trailer. I, I look. You were saying off air you didn't like how like she was stern. I guess is how I would put it, stern and like, but
That's one way
downtrodden,
of wording it. Yeah.
downtrodden
Depressing,
and
depressing and kind of unpleasant is another way of putting it.
but the
But
whole idea is this movie is based on a Supergirl comic where Supergirl is weighted by well, like, I mean, and to be fair,
depressed.
well,
She's depressed.
to be fair, this big with this version of the character, she was an adult when her planet died. So it's like, what does a person with the weight of having an entire planet's worth of people die in you and you remember? Unlike Clark, she didn't leave as a baby. She left, who has no memory of
As
his
as
home.
as like a teenager or
Right.
whatever.
So
Yeah.
that's sort of what this is exploring that darkness. You know, every other version of Supergirl is upbeat and chipper, and I understand her functionality in this universe is like, oh, you want Superman who's unhinged and willing to hurt people? This is that. This is that.
No.
This is what she's gonna
No.
be.
I don't want that. If
She's
I wanted that, I would have liked the
she's
Snyderverse.
gonna be she's gonna be the Superman that's a hair trigger that will laser beam you in a second.
And I think I've just nailed the reason why I'm confused how I feel about this is
I
how I
like
would
a lot
describe
of it.
it.
I like more of
There's
it than I
there's
don't like.
things about it I like, but yeah, that dark, gritty, she's the super as you've described it, she's the Superman that's willing to hurt, just makes me think of it.
But that gives her an arc, right? That gives her an
This
arc,
feels
right?
like just like Snyderverse light, and I
Sure,
don't
but
like that.
it gives her an arc of she starts off there because that seems to be part of the theme of this is at the beginning Clark is like you're never gonna fit in if you don't give it a chance. So I think the idea of this is it seems to be a buddy road trip movie with her and the girl, and it's gonna be about her lightening up, and I think that's kind of what this is. That's what this because it
That's what
seems
I'm
to be.
hoping is that I'm hoping by the end of it she'll be
Yeah,
less dour.
it looks as though like she starts off with the trench coat, she's really dour, and then by the end of it, she's wearing the proper Supergirl outfit, and that's supposed to represent her becoming a bit more
Oh,
upbeat.
then that's where
Which
that's
I'm
where I
like, I
think
like that as a character arc just fine. It's perfectly
that
suitable.
that's where I think Lobo is also going to play into it because I
Oh,
think he's going to
Lobo
be
looks
I think
fantastic.
he's going to be like, "Oh, like you and I are the same. Like we're kindred souls, man.
Yeah,
Like we're like two peas in a pod." And I think the girl that's road tripping with them or whatever is going to be like, "You guys are very similar." And by the end of it, that'll make
I think
Supergirl
so.
be like, "I don't know that I want to be
He
like you."
looks great though. He looks
He
great.
looks like
He
Lobo.
looks like
He
Lobo. He
really
acts like
does.
Lobo. I was concerned because I was like, oh my god, the voice and the look kind of is reminding me too much of that fucking Slumberland movie, and I was like, oh no, and
I
then
could see why you'd say
and
that.
then he had a different voice, and I was like, okay, no, they're doing something different with this. I like it. I like the fact that the core of the film is crypto, I like the
Yeah,
interconnectedness of how
that's a good
Superman
choice.
introduces. It's doing the shit the MCU it did in a successful way, and I'm like this. That tells me that that everyone's giving this shitting on the DCU, but this shows that the DCU has cohesion, right? Because
Yeah,
we
but
introduced
it
crypto
shows
in the previous one, so now in this one when he's dying, and that's the crux of the plot of the movie is them getting a cure for crypto who is dying. You give a shit because you've spent a
yeah,
movie with crypto. Like
you've set
that's
him up
really
already.
effective. I was like, oh, I'm sad about this. This makes me kind of want to see this because yeah, I like crypto. I like dogs.
Um, um, you know, it's almost as if what's his name, James Gunn actually learned from his time in the MCU about how cohesion can actually work,
And actually
you
be
know,
good, and it could just be
and
small
actually
and
be good. And
subtle,
he's now taking that and using it. It's
right?
like he's learned a
It's
lesson.
like he learned from his time in the MCU. Huh?
Um,
Who would have thunk it?
that being said, if they use this movie to kind of, I don't need her to be like Girl Scout, like, oh gee,
She
Willikers,
doesn't
like
need to be
super
Supergirl
happy
the TV
all.
show. Like she doesn't need to be
No,
that.
like I don't need to be that, but just I just don't want to be like a 3 or 4 movies of her being.
I think that's what I'm saying is I like a little less Captain Marvel and a little bit more the Marvels.
Yeah, yeah. And so like
You
if
know,
we
have some
start
fun.
and
You know,
like the first half is she's Captain Marvel, but then like the second half she stops being Captain Marvel and is the Marvel's Captain
right,
Marvel,
right. Then I'm okay with that.
then
But
okay,
like
I can live with that.
correct usage of Superman, like that's how you should be using your cameos. Like
Yeah, well,
I think I said this
especially
before,
in
but I'm
in
so
a
sick to death of people complaining about everything being a cameo fest because that's what comic books are. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
well,
you're reading
yeah,
an issue and Iron Man will just show up and he's there for a
and
panel or a frame.
to
Like
to
that's
to
how it
use
should be.
a more relevant comparison, that is one thing that the Supergirl show was good at, was like they'd have a quick cameo from Superman.
Yeah. The
Superman,
CW with nailed
yeah,
cameos where it's like yeah he just appears for a scene. It's Oliver and Barry having a conversation on a roof. He was there for a day. You just had to pay him for a day. He throws
and
on the
then he's
costume, and then it makes the
done.
universe feel interconnected. But it
Yeah,
doesn't overburden the story or make the story dependent on. And I think maybe that's what
so
people are like. Oh, the story is too dependent. But then people bitch about throwaway cameos. But that's what superhero shit should be, right?
oh
It
yeah.
should
Like
be random
superhero
throwaway
things, like
isolated
if you were
cameos.
reading a Supergirl comic, it would absolutely make sense that you would have like a single panel scene where like Supergirl is complaining in terms of a normal comic, where
Yeah,
Supergirl is complaining about whatever issue she has while on the
exactly.
phone with Clark.
Exactly. It's very believable.
That's
And
that's very on
it's all you
brand.
need. That's what I said. You need to pepper Superman into this universe in some
Yeah.
form. Acknowledge his
It doesn't
existence.
need to be huge.
Like the
Like,
frustrating thing about the Marvel movies is when you have 5 of them take place in New York, and you're like, wait, like half of the television series, like I saw one person say, I don't know much about the Disney Plus Daredevil show, but like I know that spoilers for it, but I only mention it because we're gonna see the Spider-Man movie. But in that show, Kingpin has set up an anti-vigilante
task force.
task force, and his whole platform is taking out vigilantes because the plot obviously Daredevil is a vigilante, I guess, and getting
Yeah.
the Punisher or whatever. But like Spider-Man would absolutely get swept up in that. Like there's so many moments where it's like, oh yeah, the entire climax of Hawkeye takes place at Rockefeller Center, and you're like, Spider-Man is at Rockefeller Center at the end
He
of
would
No Way
he
Home.
would
He would
he
absolutely
would
show up
swing
for
in.
this. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is in his purview. Like it makes it frustrating, and a lot of times like all you
Like
need is like
it's
is a
not so
word or a
bad.
line or a sentence to acknowledge that these people exist in your universe, and him appearing, getting him in the costume for a day, an afternoon, and putting him on a television screen is the perfect way to do that. You know how
Um,
when the best time that the MCU ever nailed that idea is Homecoming, where you just have Captain America doing PSAs. I was like, yes,
yeah.
that makes me believe that, or like we always
Um,
talk about in Winter Soldier, where he's like Tony Stark paid for this. That at least acknowledges that these characters exist in an interconnected world. Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say certain characters need more explanation than others. Like for example, you don't if you're watching a Spider-Man movie, you don't really need to explain why Daredevil's not there unless you have a scene in Hell's Kitchen.
Right, exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
Daredevil
Or if it's a
stays in his
yeah.
lane,
Or if it's like a thing that
whereas
doesn't involve it, like if this isn't going to involve Captain America, you don't need to talk about Captain America.
no, but like if you're like if you're in New York and they kind of circumvent this in the MCU because obviously Avengers Campus is like way out in the boonies and not in the middle of the city. Uh like you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
how
exactly.
in
Yeah,
most things like if you're swinging through New York
that's
in the
sort of
Spider-Man games they have Avengers Tower
yeah, like
but
little things
they've
like background things like that. Exactly.
they have circumvented that particular cameo because they moved from Avengers Tower.
Like it's
um
you can do it where I understand like you can't have the actor be there all the time, but you can reference them so that the
you
world
can acknowledge them.
that's how you make the world feel interconnected. And yet, like I say, the DCU seems to understand that. But yeah, I am. I mean, I was gonna watch this
Like
no
for
matter what.
example like if
It's so
like for example a good way to kind of do an acknowledgement without having to have the person is like yeah in the next Spider-Man all you would need is like a quick throwaway line from Peter as he's trying to make a decision of like oh what would Captain America do if he
yeah,
was here.
exactly, yeah. But yeah, if you're gonna have, but it seems to be they're getting more comfortable now that they're introducing the Netflix characters more specifically into the MCU. They're really more willing to like utilize all of those New York characters. Because yeah, it's so weird. I'm really hoping Daredevil better. I'm not talking just Matt Murray, but Daredevil better be in that fucking Spider-Man movie. Because like it's gonna be really irritating if the Punisher is and the Hand is like if he doesn't show up in some form or scene. Like that's the thing that annoys me is like yeah, you could just have them show up for one scene. That's fine.
Yeah,
That they do a big
I
team
think
up. It's a sweet sequence, and then he fucks off. Like you could do
I
that.
I have my suspicion that in the trailer where we have the scene of Spider-Man fighting
God, I
the
hope
Hand, and
so.
it looks, I have a suspicion that Daredevil
Well,
is going to
someone
be
people
there.
pointed out that when Spider-Man receives the key to the city in that trailer, it's not Wilson Fisk, and he's technically mayor.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna well, when that's
Because
when
yeah,
we
I
do
mean,
that
I suppose
Spider-Man
that
movie, we're
is
gonna have to. I'm gonna have to finish Daredevil.
I suppose that is
Take a
another
couple weeks to do
way
it.
that this movie could do, but it could take place before the Daredevil show, and then there's less things that
No, because
maybe you have to
supposedly this
reference.
takes place. There's a Punisher special that's coming out, and this takes place after that. And supposedly the Punisher special connects Daredevil, end of Daredevil season 2 to Spider-Man. Supposedly,
Interesting.
rumor goeth. I'm gonna have to. We're gonna have to do another Marvel, probably maybe a Marvel TV episode. Maybe do less entries and just power through some Marvel television. Maybe do Agents of Shield.
I do still have to do Agatha.
Jordan's got to do Agatha. We're definitely for. I think for Spider-Man, we'll do another Marvel episode because those fucking kill. Uh, they always do stupid good numbers. Our highest viewed episode, like of the podcast, is 200 views, which like understand is not a lot. Not a huge
It
amount,
is
but
for
for us,
us.
it's huge. Like we don't average a ton of views on the actual podcast. That is 200 views. It is crazy. Jordan, we previously discussed. We previously talked about. Um,
Bruno? Because you're wrong. We don't talk
we
about
don't.
Bruno.
Darn, we don't talk about Bruno. Um, we talked about how Jonathan Majors was making a movie with Daily Wire, and because me and you don't really care much for the Daily Wire, we said that kind of felt like that was his career ending.
I do recall there was a conversation of the sort. Yes, yes.
Um, apparently, Jonathan Majors, whilst making that movie, fell through a window and injured himself, and apparently some stunt people as well.
Do we feel bad about that?
I mean, as empathetic human beings to who receive injury, in that regard, yeah, but it does feel a tad bit like karma. Because look, and again, I know Jake, and a lot of people who are on the network, they do enjoy Daily Wire content. I'm not gonna attempt to take away that away from them. That if they enjoy it or take anything from it, all right. But they've always been critical. Jake has always been critical of their movie making side of things, and yeah, they are not part of the union because they don't want to be part of Hollywood, so they make everything independently. And the union to um, reached out to offer them membership, and they said we don't work with communists. Um,
Okay, that's funny. That's amusing.
um,
I have nothing further to add to that, but that's funny.
yeah, apparently their crew is on strike because of the incident. Um, looks like they're looking for additional crew. Yeah, I've
Two,
heard so many bad
two,
things
four,
about.
6, 8. You all know just who we hate.
I've heard so many bad things about their movie producing. Like it's, but to be fair, they're all a bunch of failed Hollywood types who never made it in Hollywood. That's
So
their whole.
hacks.
Yeah, they're a bunch of hacks. Yeah, that's their whole deal. And yeah, I don't know. It does feel real like it's just in the like the hierarchy of Hollywood. I just feel like going from Marvel to doing like the Daily Wire, and where's it gonna go, Jordan? Daily Wire Plus? All right then, no one's watching it.
Is
Um,
is that a thing?
that is a thing. Yeah, they have their own streaming service.
So
That
they're so uncreative that they just ripped off Disney's name? Wow.
I think they came.
That's not shocking.
Honestly, I think they came first. I think Daily Wire Plus came before Disney Plus.
Future Justin, you need to fact check this.
I'm reasonably certain. I don't think they ripped off, but I mean, I could see that it would be something they would do. Be something they would do. Um, huh. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, interesting. See, that's interesting. So we talked about this before, and we had a video that did crazy well about it. But we talked about they're making
Yes.
something based on Batman Nightfall. But now this is saying it's going to be a movie.
Interesting.
They're
That's
making
the Nightfall. That's the like at the end of Arkham where it's the Nightfall procedure where he fakes his death or whatever.
yeah in the comic books that I know that I know that there's they do we talked about this, they do take elements from it, but I don't think it's a one to one because the original Nightfall involved, that's the one where
It has Azazel taking over.
Azazel taking over after Batman has his back broken by Bane.
Yeah.
That's where it
Okay,
comes from. So I
it is what
don't.
I thought.
Yeah,
So, if they're doing a movie version of this, do we think that like
two parts,
is
two
it
movies.
is it animated
I
or
think
live
so.
action?
Yeah, it's animated. Yeah,
Animated.
yeah.
So do we think that the first half is gonna be the like leading up to him having his back broken, and then they stop there, and then the next part
I
like
can tell
begins
you.
with Azazel?
I can tell you because it has synopsises. If you just give
Oh,
me
synopsis.
synopsize. Hold on. There we go. Oh, no, maybe I'm wrong. It doesn't. But I think so. Yeah, I think the first. Oh, the first installment. Blah. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. No. Never mind. I'm wrong. Sorry. I think so. I think you're probably right. It'll end with him getting his back broken, and then the
And
first.
then the second half will be
Yeah, and then I'll have the.
will be like a Azazel. So it would be interesting if the second part just opens up and like it's just from Azazel's perspective,
That would be
and
wicked.
like
That would be
we
wicked.
just have his perspective, and then like the second half,
But like,
Bruce comes back.
I want a legit, uh, Azazel costume, like from ripped right from the comic. I want it to be his act.
Yeah.
But it's weird because they were doing a show based on it, so I couldn't tell if this was separate from the show that they were doing. You know, I might as well knock out there. They announced another Batman movie, and I'm gonna be honest with you, this one I'm actually excited for. I'm not really a fan of Nightfall. It's just I've seen it so many variations and iterations of it. It just
I mean, I
other than to see
I
Azazel,
just
most versions leave out Azazel.
I just I'm always down, and I want to encourage them making more. And Marvel get in on this.
Right,
But I want to encourage them just doing more. Oh, let's take X comic book and take it in, make it into an animated movie.
right.
So like, except you know, like
Marvel really
make
should
them
do it way more often.
make
The fact that
them
they don't do it is stupid.
make them like more
Yeah,
accurate to
like
the
you
to
don't have
the
to. The problem is a lot of these things they feel like they need to explain. But if you just do a straight adaptation, you're like, yeah, this is a snapshot of the universe at that moment in time when we create it, and you do 1-to-1 from the comics, and you make it clear like this is its own separate thing that you don't have
yeah.
to. Yeah, because there's so many classic Marvel storylines they could make into an animated movie that I would totally watch. Why
Oh,
does DC do it
absolutely.
all the time? DC
I
hasn't even
mean,
tapped the good shit that they could do.
I
But
mean, like I'm shocked that Marvel has never been like, hey, why don't we make the Civil War into like we could do a whole bunch of animated things
right,
like just off of that one.
right, and the thing
Like
about
you could make an animated movie where it's the Spider-Man portion of it, the Captain
right.
America portion of it, the Iron Man. Like there's a
Thing
lot.
the thing I love about I love about the DC ones too is since they realized they could make those a bit grittier and like more bloody, they're like they're the best versions of the like I don't want to say they're the best
For
DC
the
movies, but they're about as close as the best DC movies.
Yeah, for most of them anyway. There's some of them where I'm like that's where I'm like if you're gonna do the storyline, don't take liberties.
Yeah,
Don't do
just
injustice.
do 1-to-1.
Yeah,
But speaking of Batman, Jordan,
don't pull an injustice and ruin the story.
I need you to know I know nothing about this character.
That still bothers me.
I know nothing about Absolute Batman, but I just this image of him. There's an image of him. He's jacked as shit and massive, and has an axe that looks like a bat.
Sounds pretty metal.
Like no, I don't mean like a baseball bat. I mean
No,
like a.
no, no. You mean it's like a
It
bat
looks like a
bat.
bat. At least that's how I would characterize it. It sure shit looks like a
Yeah,
bat.
I don't really know anything about the absolute world. I know we've talked about the Joker,
Some of their
and
designs are very similar, and others are wildly different.
yeah, like I know there's an absolute version of pretty much all of the
Yeah,
characters.
pretty
There's
well.
absolute Green Lantern,
Supposedly
Wonder
the
Woman, Superman, and
I didn't
I
include
don't.
this. This popped up as a story option one week, and I didn't want to be like talk about the Absolute Universe every single week. But apparently, the villain in the Absolute Universe that has the highest kill count is the Scarecrow.
Huh.
I know, right?
All right.
When I read about Absolute Superman, he just kind of seems like he's the same, more or less. Like I don't recall there being any unlike Absolute Batman. There isn't really any like major differences from what I could tell, but I'm sure someone's gonna correct me on that. But anyway, you ready for a roller coaster of emotion?
Uh,
So based on the image I just described, Jordan, Absolute Batman finally to get his own game.
what? Okay, okay. Before I react, what kind of game?
That's why you're supposed to get excited by the concept of him getting a game.
My curiosity is piqued. I'm not excited.
Oh, and then Jordan,
Oh,
there we go. Absolute Batman is set to receive its own board game adaptation.
oh,
Oh, see, I told you there was going to be an up. There was inevitably
that
going to come down. That was the roller
that was
coaster, everybody.
that was the
That
letdown.
was the letdown. Yeah, that was the roller coaster. Because, all right, apparently,
I
yeah,
mean, I would more say that was kind of like an elevator. You started on the top floor and then you just went to ground level. But
apparently
you
it's
know,
based upon season 4 of Batman Gotham City Chronicles, which I guess is a game. I guess. All right. I mean, I was kind of hoping for a video game. You really set me up to knock me down there, coming
uh,
soon.net. Dick move, bro.
yeah, a board game,
So apparently,
cool.
Jordan, they're not making season 3 of Ted, which a lot of people are disappointed by. I'm
I
slightly
heard
disappointed.
I heard they were going full 2D with that.
That's what everyone said. They're getting their information mixed up because they don't do a successful movie news podcast, award-winning successful movie news podcast. They are making a TED TV show, but it's a sequel show, and all of the original characters are coming back. So Mark Wahlberg is coming back. We talked about it on the show. So Amanda Seyfried is coming back. Everyone, they're all coming back. And I
Okay.
don't know what the art style is going to look like. I surmise it'll be in Seth MacFarlane's art style, so it'll look like Family Guy. But that's the animated show everyone's talking about. But the kid's not coming back. Well, but to be
Okay.
fair, Seth MacFarlane hasn't said there isn't going to be a season 3. He just said don't expect one. But also, when they were promoting season 2, it came around that there are scripts written for Orville season 4. There are scripts written, which means they're moving along. They're in pre-production on that.
Good, because that's the show I want.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Ideally, I'd like to live in a world with both because I do think Ted is really funny. Like I think it is the funniest Seth MacFarlane show probably since OG American Dad. It's
I wouldn't know.
it's
I never watched the
it's
show,
genuinely
so.
funny. Like the clips from the D&D episode are just the some of the funniest shit I've ever seen. But apparently, with Ted ending, Seth MacFarlane is making a new show for I guess Peacock. It's in development. It's gonna be called Dungeon Crawler Carl, and
Hmm.
the series, which is apparently
Animated or
I don't know. It says it's based on the LIT RPG book series by the same name by Matt Dinniman, written by Chris Yost, who will also executive produce. It's going to have the Fuzzy Door production. Oh, here it is. An alien invasion has wiped out most of humanity, and any survivors are forced to fight for their lives on a sadistic intergalactic game show, reads the official logline. Sounds bad, right? Now try doing it with bare feet and a stuck-up, self-centered, tiara-wearing cat as your partner. Welcome to Dungeon Crawler World, Earth, where the apocalypse will be televised, and the Coast Guard vet Carl finds himself stuck with his girlfriend's award-winning show cat, Princess Donut, the Queen Ant Chonk, as they try to survive the end of the world, fighting alien monsters and insane AI and other survivors, all for the sake of good TV. Survival is optional, entertainment is not. That was really long. It just kept going. That sounds fun.
oh, okay. So on its face, it sounds kind of
I,
bad.
I yeah, but fun
Um,
bad.
but yeah, well, like Family Guy
I
bad.
surmise that's probably animated, and that's going to be another. It's going to be an animated sitcom,
Um,
but maybe not. Maybe it'll be live action. Who knows?
See, I hear that and I picture live action mixed with like maybe CG elements. Like Orville.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah,
kind of hear when
exactly.
I hear that.
Yeah.
So I'm like for me,
Sounds like he's just producing it though. Like he's not in
because
it.
of because if yeah, fair enough. But because of his shows like the Orville, I'm more willing to give this one the
Oh,
benefit of
for
the
sure.
doubt.
I think he's at his best, but he's like yeah. I much as I love Family Guy, and Family Guy still makes me laugh. Um, for me, he's at his best, but when it's a nice mixture. I guess
Yeah.
like Orville and Ted. There's some good shit in Ted. Like I will not take anything away from
I
Ted. I
I
do.
can't I can't judge that.
I
I
would
haven't
like
watched
Ted.
it.
I really wish. I wish Peacock was Canadian. I really like that show to come to a Canadian streamer, please. It's not fair. We can't
Oh
get
yeah, for
Peacock.
me it's one of those things where like if it was on something,
Yeah, same.
I would
I'd
absolutely give it a
absolutely
chance, but
watch it.
I can't give it
Apparently,
a
it's way better
chance.
than the movies. Like that's what everyone says. They're like this show makes me hate the first movie. I was like, wow,
I mean,
that's strong
see,
words. Those are strong words.
that's and see that's where it's like, yeah, I mean, I like the movies. So if people are saying that, I would probably
It
like the
by the
show, but
second one, it definitely
I
felt
can't
like
I can't watch the show because you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
But by
it's
the second one, it was like yeah, he wants this to be a show. This is just a bunch of disconnected subplots that are just
pretty
episodes of a
much,
show.
yeah. Yeah.
So this
Just
is
an extended movie or extended show scene.
Jordan. This website is awful sometimes. We've talked about it repeatedly, but here's another fun headline, Jordan. Hamilton's Lin-Manuel Miranda directing a movie based on a beloved musical. What do you think the musical is, Jordan?
Is it Hamilton?
No, it's not Hamilton. Give you another guess. Beloved musical, Jordan. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Reese?
No, it's not. It's not Grease, Jordan. He's set to direct a feature film adaptation of Octet, I don't really know how this is going to work as a movie, but an a cappella musical about the dangers of internet addiction, which
So
I actually kind
it's
of.
it's at this point
How you do an a
that
cappella movie musical?
it's at this point that I have to turn and look at you, Justin, and be like, why did you think I was ever gonna guess that?
I didn't. That was the joke.
Oh,
I was making.
okay.
I knew you would never guess it
Because what the fuck is Octet?
It's a movie about the dangers of internet addiction, Jordan. A musical about the dangers of internet addiction.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Sure. I
This
don't
is
know.
funny.
Cool. Cool, I guess.
So, Jordan, what is the worst day to do this on the internet?
To do the show?
The thing we do, the movie news thing. What's the worst day?
On
The worst day
um,
to do it.
on a day when there's no news?
No. Okay, we'll do this again.
I don't understand the bitch you're setting
April
me up
Fools,
for here.
Jordan. April Fools.
yeah. See, we don't do it on April Fools.
April
So,
Fool's is the worst day to do internet news. It fucking sucks. You have to triple check every single story you see because not this year was actually not that bad, but most years it's like, oh, this sounds cool. Oh, you get about halfway through the trailer or the article and you're like, oh, this is clearly an April Fool's joke. Fuck, I hate this.
I
Um,
I don't understand
I've gotten had by it
April.
so many years. It's not fun.
I just as I've gotten older, why did this start?
I don't know. I don't.
Like, why
They
is
used to be
April
kind of fun,
Fools a thing?
but they're just
Like,
not
where
fun.
what is the
Oh,
history?
of the okay,
Because like because like it seems to be a day that everyone hates.
right,
Why do we continue to let it like you know like world at large, you all realize that like if you stop acknowledging it, a holiday dies.
right.
We could
We could kill April Fool's Day.
just let this one
We could
die.
put April Fool's Day down. I just so okay.
It
To be
just
fair, some April Fool's Day pranks are funny. Some of them are funny.
no, no, they're never funny,
Some
Justin.
of them can be kind of funny, but
Okay,
only if the other person laughs.
I defy you to name funny
It
ones.
like fake internet announcements aren't funny.
No, those aren't
Those
funny.
aren't funny because where's the joke? I'm not like they used to be kind of clever at least, but
Like it's one thing if like at the beginning you do like in a world where any movie can happen and like make it like very obvious that it's not real,
right.
then okay, then that's
I
kind of
can't
like
stand
back
the
in the
ones that look
day.
real. They're the
Back in the
worst
day,
things
like
ever.
when they did that like live action Legend of Zelda one, but like you knew it wasn't
No,
real.
see that one looked too real. Like
No,
the
but you
thing.
knew, but you knew it
Yeah, you
wasn't
had a gut
real.
feeling, or like when it was Mickey. There was a solid point. There's been a few in the past couple. Like there's so many of them that are too believable. I think that's when they
Yeah,
suck when they're too
but like
believable.
when it's like so over the like for example, if I was sitting here and I saw like there was a Marvel DC crossover movie, that's not real.
No,
Like
that's
there's
not
no
real.
way. There's no way.
No, this
So
is
like at
clearly
that
an April
point it's
Fool's
like
joke.
at that point it's kind of like okay, well then I can have fun with
Right?
it because I'm not going to get my hopes up.
But that all having been said, if you have an announcement to make that sounds that it could not be, that's the thing is so many of these stupid April Fool's jokes are just like they sound so ridiculous but true. So they're hard to, and I've gotten in the past like 4 or 5 years, especially since I started doing the show. I've had friends send me things that I had to be like, and it's especially worse now because now these April Fool's Day videos will circulate out of season. So
Yeah.
people will get them. They won't get them on April 1st. They'll get them in like May, and then my friends are sending me a trailer and like, oh my god, it's this the movie, and I have to be like, no, this is an April Fool's joke. Like, son of a bitch. Like that
Well,
happened to me
it's
so many
especially
times last
bad.
year. It's annoying.
It's it's especially bad with the advent of like all this AI stuff as well because
Yeah.
you can make it so believable in some
Right.
cases.
So that all
Um,
having been said,
Also there's a big difference when it comes to April Fool's joke between like, oh yeah, I replaced my partner's sugar with salt.
right,
And oh yeah, there's gonna be a Fox McCloud movie or
right,
something like that, right?
right.
Like there's a big difference
I
between the
mean,
two.
there probably is gonna be. We're gonna talk about
Shut
that.
up.
That's next week. That's next Sunday,
Shut
by
up.
the way. Super Mario Brothers Galaxy Way Too Late review. One of our classic
Ho
Way Too Late reviews.
Hopefully, as you know, unless something goes horribly
Unless
wrong, and
something. But
one of us like breaks our leg.
pull it back to the point. If you have things that sound ridiculous but are true, maybe
Just
wait a couple of days or do it a couple of days in advance of April Fool's Day, because like they announced a Happy Feet musical, and like that sounds silly, that sounds ridiculous. It got sent to me on. It was either April. I don't know if it was April Fool's Day or the day after April Fool's Day. And I initially assumed it was an April Fool's joke because I was like, "This sounds silly." It's a musical with penguins. How is that gonna work? Are they gonna dress in penguin? And so I commented. Haley posted it, and I said, "This is probably an April Fool's joke." And then I opened up the article, and the article was from March 31st, so it was not an April Fool's joke. So I'm like, maybe wait till April 2nd next time, guys.
Or like fourth or something, a couple
Fourth,
days
just like a couple
removed.
days removed from April Fool's Day. Because like
But
It's
also musical about penguins doesn't sound any sillier to me than Lion King.
well, no, or like Winnie the Pooh has a musical where
Yeah.
they use puppets. No,
So like
it's when you hear like that's got a lot of dancing. You could do stuff with
I can
costuming and like
absolutely,
yeah.
yeah,
They've done
I
the
can
Lion
see
King
it.
on stage. They could do Happy Feet on stage. It's not that inherently ridiculous, but like yeah, it was on April Fool's Day.
It's just the
It's just the
timing of
timing
it.
and how close it is to 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 April Fool's Day. We're like, this is just ridiculous enough to
Unfortunate
be silly.
timing.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe wait a couple days next time. Jordan, we're gonna ask a question here.
Or do it a couple of days, like 4 days
4 days
before.
removed feels safe. We're gonna ask the question: is this okay? I'm gonna say no, but like this feels icky to me. But I don't know. It's hard to articulate maybe
Okay.
exactly why. They're
You're setting
gonna
me up.
they announced a Jeffrey Epstein TV show about the investigation of Jeffrey Epstein.
No, that's sensationalizing it.
Right,
No,
that
that's not
is
okay.
right. That feels
That's not okay.
yucky. It
To
feels
me,
too close.
that's the same as when they had like I think they had not TV shows, but like they were doing stuff with the what's his name, Johnny Depp trial.
Oh yeah, and it was like right in the middle of the
It
trial. You're
was like
like, this
right in
is
the middle of it,
gross.
and it's like this is personal.
Like at
Like it's
least
not a show.
I don't. I mean, not that that
Somebody was like real people were hurt by this man. Like
right.
why are we
I don't
no.
like that. That just reminds me the gross. I stopped watching it because it was gross. But
Like
that I can't
the
stand
only
romanticizing shit like that. It makes me feel
no,
icky.
the only reason um why I could I could
Profiting
learn
off of it
to
makes me feel weird.
the only reason why I could learn to accept this, I guess is the best way to put it, because I'm not gonna say but is because the more that they put it in public perception and public mind, the more the Republicans that are trying to sweep it under the rug are unhappy,
Yeah, I suppose.
and and
Yes,
that is a good thing.
I suppose that's true. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
But
I'm always
so
like, if you're gonna make
I
if you're gonna make
think
a movie about a thing, wait 10 years out, maybe.
yeah,
That feels like a
for
safe
me
distance.
I guess my answer would be it depends on how they do it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
Like if it's more like documentary and less like reality, like to make a murder or Tiger King or like like if it's not
Yeah.
like
It's not like that
that.
Jeffrey Dahmer show where it attempts to make Jeffrey Dahmer sexy, and then you saw people make thirst trap
Yeah.
edits of Jeffrey Dahmer, and you're like, this is fucking weird. He killed a lot of people. This is really gross. Why are you making thirst traps about Jeffrey Dahmer? I get in that show he's played by a handsome actor, man, and he
But
probably
he
was a handsome
wasn't.
actor in life, but like, he killed and did bad things to people.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's where I say
There's a lot.
it's
They made
really
multiples of those shows, and they all made me feel icky.
it's gonna depend on how it's made, but on its face, no, no.
Uh, it gives me a real yeah.
But like as I was
Yeah.
as we did the one episode where I did a bunch of true crime stuff, I think that's gross too.
Oh yeah, I understand. I can true crime. It depends. It depends on how time removed it is. Because for me, it's like yeah, to a degree, but like also
I think it
documentaries
sensationalizes it too
learning
much.
about it. I don't necessarily have an
No,
issue with
but
the true
but
crime themselves. It's how people deal with them that makes me feel weird.
but the thing is that like yeah, if it's in a documentary is not true crime. If it's in a documentary, then it's sanitized and it's removing the
Yeah.
sensationalization of it. But a lot of those true crime shows and true crime podcasts,
Oh, the true crime
uh,
podcasts are a problem. No, that I will not disagree
they're
with.
glorifying it.
But like the true crime docs themselves, I would say for me it depends on the doc. That's what I would
Yeah,
say. A lot
I
of the
would agree with
Netflix
that.
ones, not a lot of the Netflix ones are gross and scummy. I will give you that. But
Yeah,
um, like there was, I know I watched one where I was like, this feels icky.
yeah.
I can't think of which one it is, but I do I can't think of there. I think it might have been the catfishing one where I was like, ooh, this feels icky and slimy. And then you go and you learn about the case. You're like, yeah, it's because it was.
Yeah.
John Cena. You can't see him. John Cena, Jordan. What was the last thing you heard about him? He retired, right? That was the thing.
from wrestling? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he's
think
hanging up his
so.
jorts. He's hanging up the armbands. He's taking off the shirt.
You know, until 10 years from now when he does a glorious return,
Right when he does a
like the
glorious return,
Rock.
like The Rock does. Um, well, Jordan apparently he's making that glorious return already because he's going to be hosting. He's going to be hosting WrestleMania, leading people to be what retirement? But I guess maybe it was like he's retired from doing the wrestling part of it, but he's going to still participate in the WWE part of it. What does this mean, Jake? Tell me in the comments because I don't know that. Maybe I'll remember to ask when I see him next. When I do Star Trek next, I don't think so.
I mean,
What do you think
how
of
is he
that, wrestling fans?
how is he going to be involved in any regard when you can't see him?
Because you can't see him.
He's not going to show up on camera. I don't.
Is he gonna wear the jorts? Do you think, Jordan?
I mean, no. I think he's going to step back from his wrestling persona and he's going to be more of like his film star persona,
Oh yeah.
but an announcer.
I mean
So
that
like
that.
I
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say so like I don't think you're going to get him doing
No,
like
I could.
that persona.
It'd be interesting to know. Yeah, wait, this is what down the middle is for. But it'd be interesting to know. Yeah, is he gonna do? Because a lot of wrestlers, once they retire from actually wrestling, they do that. They move into like this. Now I'm in my manager persona phase where they walk
Yeah.
behind the guy now. So yeah, maybe John Cena will do that. I don't know why. Like I guess then that way he could still participate in WWE and do the movie stuff. I guess I don't know. I like John.
Like
To be fair, I like John
I
Cena
could
in most anything he
I
does.
could
So
I could theoretically see it being a thing where like he comes back as like a guest announcer or something, and then he gets pulled into the ring for one last time. Like I could see
maybe
them,
I don't think so. That part
but
I don't foresee him ever wrestling again. But who knows? Maybe.
not in a like in a full. But I mean, like like when they have, like for example, when McMahon, like you pull him in for like a quick little
Maybe
thing,
I
powwow kind of situation, then
I
he
don't
runs
know.
off or
I don't
whatever.
know. I don't know. Who knows? It'd be kind of funny. To be
Because
like
I
he's
mean,
now suit
when
wearing John Cena.
when The Rock left, you didn't think he was going to come back, but they all eventually do something.
Yeah, that is true. Jordan, J. Jonah Jameson, to end this big twist. J. Jonah Jameson reveals which DC hero he would distrust as much as Spider-Man. And I was like, under what context does this happen? And you went,
Was
Spider-Man.
it in yeah,
Yeah,
was it in that Spider-Man
you were in
crossover?
Spider-Man crossover, and yes, it was in a recent crossover issue. J. Jonah Jameson, well-known skepticism of mass heroes and Spider-Man, Superman #1. The Daily singles out, he would not trust Batman. That actually
That
completely
makes
makes sense.
sense.
Yeah, J.
That's
Jameson.
100% believable.
Yeah, yeah. He said J. Jonah Jameson has made it clear that Batman is a hero he would never trust, extending his criticism of mass figures beyond Superman. The reveal appears in Spider-Man #1, where the outspoken editor applies his views on accountability to a major figure in the DC universe.
Which would be
Uh,
Batman.
yeah, points to Batman. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
That's absolutely
Yeah.
believable.
My favorite version of the J.K. Simmons version of J. Jonah Jameson doesn't really have a at least by all appearances anyway, have a what's the word I'm looking for, Jordan? Uh,
Arc,
a oh my god, I'm totally blanking.
resolution.
When you believe in something really strongly,
Oh,
a not theological, but a
no, shut up for a second. A guiding star,
a oh
uh
fuck, what's the word? Nope, it's not coming to me. But he doesn't have a moral reason for oh fuck, that's gonna piss me off. No, it's because I'm on a podcast live, everybody. Not
what?
theology, not a really strong belief. Really strong belief.
Yeah, that's gonna bug me.
Belief.
A model or a
Um,
guiding principle,
Conviction, unwavering faith.
conviction.
Uh, yeah, conviction. He doesn't have he doesn't have a moral center reason for for distrusting superheroes.
Yeah,
Where like my favorite version of that Or I guess he doesn't express a reason for distrusting
For why
Spider-Man.
he's so much
Yeah,
like,
so much
yeah,
against it. Ideology. That was an ideological reason. That was it. He doesn't
that's
have an
it.
ideological reason for distrusting Spider-Man. That was it. He just distrusts him because J. Jonah Jameson is supposed to distrust Spider-Man. Same goes for the MCU version. Um,
Yeah, whereas in the comics, wasn't it because like he
it's
got mugged or
well,
something?
I don't know about the comics, but my favorite version is from the animated series, where I think it's his girlfriend, or he has a I can't remember the exact reason, but it's like his wife friend or girlfriend or kid or something gets killed by somebody in a mask,
Yeah, that
and
was it.
that's why he's distrusting of him. And like, yeah, this would at least that at least would serve in the comics anyway. That ideological reason of having a base mistrust of someone who wears a mask. It makes that character feel consistent. There we go. We got back around there in the end. Ideological. Oh, that was gonna bug me. It
Um,
wasn't there, and then it was.
yeah, yeah, I read, watched. I don't know how you want to put it. I did the comic story and version of the Deadpool Batman crossover one. That one was fun. So
Yeah, there are two
I'm
characters
hoping
that would have never paired,
hoping I event yeah, and they're fun together.
right?
Um hoping I eventually get to experience that Spider-Man Superman crossover because
Right?
they are another two pair that I wouldn't have necessarily put together.
No, me neither. Well,
Um
yeah. Usually, Spider-Man and Batman get together. That's usually what
yeah,
gets together.
because Silly Man and Strong Man, that's why Deadpool
But
and
also,
Batman work
there's
together.
been a number of times where Spider-Man has teamed up with a Superman-like character. There's several characters
Sure.
in the Marvel universe that are just Superman.
But those Superman-like characters aren't
I still want them to
Superman.
do Hyperion, and he's played by Henry Cavill. I think that would be awesome.
That'd be fun.
That'd
That'd
be
be cool.
that'd be really fun. That's it. That's all the news I got. That is a much short one. We're only here for like an hour, you guys. It's not a full show, but we'll be back.
It's because we're not back yet.
We're preparing for a big anime episode. I finished my first anime today. I'm in the middle of watching my second one. We're working on anime, and then
I gotta make a list.
and that's coming. That's gonna come next week. Be excited about that. We'll be back
Be
in costume.
excited. Be excited.
Jordan, where can the people find you?
On Monday, I do Minecraft Monday on my Twitch. That's Gore187. On the weekend, usually Sunday, I'm here and I do the more full version of this show.
I'm Justin. I'm on TikTok, Justin Spurr. The show's also on the TikTok, Spur of the Moment P. You can email the show. It's Justin's business. If you want to make your business my business, you can slide in my email. If you want, it's
It
Justin's
sounded
business.
dirty.
I know. What else? The Patreon. You can join the Discord if you want. Nobody does, but you can. It's an option. You should, if you want to see last bonus episode 4, last week's news. If you didn't watch it last week, you want to get caught up. It's box on the left. If you want to see a random video that YouTube want things you should watch, it's box on the left. Those have popped up at some point here. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. There's new videos out 7 days a week. Even when we're on vacation, Jordan, 7 days a week. I have to finish this week's videos still. I still got 3 videos. That happens tomorrow.
That's future Justin's problem.
Leave a comment on any of the news stories you heard here. Yeah, talk to us. We like it when you leave comments. Leave the comments. Subscribe, leave a like. Likes are so important, and they're free. We need watch hours, so go back and watch that other content because we want to get to where you can give us money.
Do it. Do it now.
Next week. We'll see you next week, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.